Hey everybody, it's me, Cindy from the Hippie Kitchen, the place to be to learn about holistic living for optimal health. So today is Sunday soup. I'm going to try this new series, and Sundays seem to be a great day to make soup. As you could see, it's snowing out today and pretty cold. So I'm going to be making a soup today. In fact, I'm here in my parents' house. We're here for the winter. This is where we'll be living for the winter. And we went to visit them one year where they are in Daytona, and they brought us, actually their friend Vicky brought us out to Caraba's restaurant for supper. And I had the best soup ever that I've ever had. And I was so excited to find out what was in it and that I could make it. And it was gluten-free and pretty damn good for you, actually. So it's one of my favorites. I make it often and my friends love it. So I figured this would be a great one to start with, and I hope you like it too. So I'm going to show you the ingredients and we'll get going.
And this is sausage and lentil soup with kale.
Okay, so here we are. We've got some sausage. Now normally I would use a gluten-free organic sausage, but I can't find any. They don't have any right now. So in that case, I always try to go with a local sausage, and definitely take a look at the carbohydrate content on it, because if it's high in carbohydrates, then it's really high in fillers. So this one wasn't labeled as gluten-free. I'm not allergic to gluten, I'm not celiac, and I don't really react to it, so I should be fine with this. But if that's the case for you, definitely know what kind of sausage you're getting. And then, so I've got my lentils, some organic lentils, and then I've got a zucchini, some bay leaf, of course my mirepoix, I've got my celery, my organic carrots, and one large onion. Mine are pretty small, so I grabbed two, and we're going to use some garlic. And then about six cups of chicken stock. That's about 4 right there. I will be adding to that. And then this is an organic chicken bouillon that I found at Costco. Normally I really enjoy using my own bone broth, but I don't have any today, so I will use this in its place. And then some organic diced tomatoes. I use 2 cans. And in my recipe, this is not normally in the recipe, but I add kale. Now normally I would have bought a regular curly kale, fully grown, but they didn't have any again, so you go with what you can find. And you don't even have to add this if you don't want to, but I enjoy adding it. And some red pepper flakes. And then this is a mixture of Italian mix that I made myself. There's nothing fancy to my measurement. This is just 1 scoop of basil, 1 scoop of oregano, 1 nice scoop of thyme, and a scoop of parsley. So that's in there. So I'm going to cut this all up and get going. Okay, so here we are. So I've got all my onions and my celery, carrots, everything chopped up, my garlic. I've got everything ready to go. I took the meat out of the casings, and so we'll cook it up like that. And then here I have my lentils washing. And then I will strain the water from these, and then I will strain the lentils. So let's get going. Okay, so once the pan is hot, throw in some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and we're going to cook up the meat. So I'm going to add in my mirepoix now. I'm going to save the garlic for a few minutes, and because the zucchini and the kale are such delicate vegetables, I'm going to wait until almost the end to add those in. I'm going to let this all saute up. Okay, so that's been sauteing about, I don't know, 2 minutes or so. I'm going to add my garlic. And then I'm going to start adding my liquids to this so I can get the lentils going. So there's 4 cups of water and 2 cans of diced tomatoes. Now usually what I do is I add the extra 2 cups as I go along, because once I put the lentils in here, that's going to be a lot. But as this cooks down, a lot of this liquid is going to evaporate. So add the other 2 cups as I go. I'm going to add my chicken bouillon to this because I'm not using actual chicken stock. And so it calls for, I'm just going by the directions, so it's 1.5 tablespoons to a liter of water, which is pretty much what 4 cups is. So I'm just going to add a nice big scoop in there. And again, I'm going to be adding more water as we go along, but the seasonings are very good in this soup, so just add to taste as you like. I'm going to add my Italian seasoning that I made. Seems like a lot, but it's necessary. And then I'm going to add some pepper. I don't usually add salt at this point. I tend to be someone who adds salt as things cook so I can see how much salt it really needs. I don't like to oversalt. Sodium is good for us, salt is good for us, but there's a good balance that needs to happen, and we get a lot of salt from other things, so like the sausage, I'm sure there's salt in there. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to add the lentils. Okay, so it's boiling right now. So I'm going to throw in my lentils. So what I did was I soaked these lentils in a bowl full of water, and then I let whatever floated to the top, I kind of drained off, and then I went through the lentils with my fingers and kind of pulled out and looked at some of them in piles. I have found pebbles in my lentils. So this is 2 cups of lentils, which was the package that I purchased. And I'm going to turn the heat down from high to just over medium high. I might play with that a little bit more, but I'm just going to let this kind of simmer, lightly boil. So you do want it to kind of boil, but not a hard boil. So I'm just going to turn that down to a simmer, and I'm going to let those cook for about an hour. Oh, and don't forget the bay leaf. So I always try to count how many I put in, especially when a soup like this is so chunky. I know what I'm looking for at the end. And then if I don't find it, I know that I have to tell people that it's still there and not to eat it. Okay, so also for me, I try to put turmeric in as many things as I possibly can because it's just so great for inflammation. And it doesn't really affect the taste too much on certain recipes. And so this is one of those great recipes. And so I add actually a tablespoon of turmeric. I try to add turmeric to everything, even my smoothies in the morning. So I'm about 30 minutes in, and it's starting to thicken up a little bit, and I need some more water. So I'm going to go ahead and add that extra 2 cups of water. And I may add more. I'm actually going to add my zucchini now too. I won't add the kale till the very, very end. It's looking good. Alright, here we are, guys. So, I actually ended up cooking this for about an hour and a half, and that's pretty much based on the lentils that I picked, right? You just cook it until they're tender. If I would have picked some small French lentils, they'd probably be a little different, but I'm not picky. You know, you just grab what you can find. So I'm starting to take out these bay leaf. And that's 2. I think there's 4 in there, and I'll find the other ones after. So I'm going to taste this. So just a little bit of salt. And that's why I like waiting till the end. There's so much flavor in there. I usually like using sea salt, but I don't have any right now, and I don't judge. So some pepper. And then I'm going to add a pinch of red pepper flakes. I like things spicy. You can do it based on your preference. And then I'm going to add a bunch of kale. And I'm going to shut this off. There we go. So this is a nice, great, hearty soup full of vitamins and minerals and goodies. And it is so delish. And like I said, oh, there's number 3. So number 4 will pop in here at some point soon, I'm sure. So I throw the kale in right at the last minute because it's just such a fragile vegetable. And I just love the addition. Just gets the greens in there. We're always working at getting more greens in our diet. So you can just let this sit. These lentils will continue to get softer. And there is another bay leaf in there, but we'll find it as we go along. And so like I said again, I like it a little spicy, and I'm going to put just a touch of sriracha in there because that's just how I roll. And there we go. Does that look awesome, guys? So that's it, guys. This stuff is so good. So I'm gonna go eat this by the fire and get warm. So I hope you enjoyed my Sunday soup, and if you liked this video, please like and share, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, bye. Honey, soup's ready.